Welcome back. This is Weeknights, and it's Friday.
Yep. That's what they said.
Yep, another day. And that's it. That's all Friday is. We did that before. I don't want to do it again.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of stuff dropped today.
Mm-hmm. That's what I heard.
Yeah, a lot of stuff dropped today. Some interesting stuff. Some
Mm-hmm.
stuff we'll get to, some stuff we won't. But first, we should introduce ourselves.
Mm-hmm. I'm Dash.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. All right. And I am JD, aka He Who Pods, aka He Who the Spring is Attacking. Spring came and it's like meds don't matter.
Yep, I understand.
Time for a nap? Time for a drink? What's going on?
With me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just here, I'm
So
just
you
here.
don't get fined?
Yep. I'm here and I'm living. That's it.
Got it. All right. Well, Cardi dropped a new joint.
She sure did.
It's called Enough Miami or Miami Enough.
I think it's enough. And then Miami in parentheses.
Right, I think you're right. Yep, you are correct. Enough parentheses Miami.
Yeah.
Maybe this song was inspired by Miami breaking up with Spring Break.
Oh, maybe. Who knows?
You know what I mean? She does say enough is enough.
She says a lot of things in that song.
She says a lot of things in that song.
She even quoted Dr. Seuss. She did. I said, "Oh, okay, nursery rhymes. All right."
I listen. My next song, I'm a bring in the three men in the tub. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I go rub a dub dub next song.
Have you ever seen the movie Brown Sugar?
I have.
Do you remember the rapping Dalmatians?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly like that.
Yeah. So like, anytime I hear like nursery rhyme raps, I think
Listen,
about I think about the rapping Dalmatians.
I could see that. I could see why, rather.
Yeah. That's where my mind goes, and I could see them too. The hoe is mine. Gotta get her. Got to get her.
Right.
I'm first in line. They do
You,
know.
you knew the whole thing, huh?
I mean, I know Brown Sugar very well. I've seen it many times,
Gotcha.
so it's kind of hard to miss that part of it.
Understood.
But yeah,
Yeah. Hard to miss those Dalmatians.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
But back to the song. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
Oh, I said, "Oh, Cardi, what are we doing here? Did you
Yep.
like that? Were you into that?"
I thought that was hilarious. I was so caught off guard that all I could do was crack up when I heard that. But let's dive into it. So I've heard it a bunch of times because I knew we were coming up here to review it, speak about it, and I wanted to make sure. Hold on. You okay? Excuse me one second.
Mhm.
All right, I'm back. Yeah, so I heard it a couple times because I knew it was coming up here to talk about it. And I've got thoughts. I think Where do I start? Okay, so some of the things I said when Cardi dropped the last song, I think are more evident today, are more clear today. I
Okay.
said on the last song, the quote unquote freestyle, like what? She was playing around with some flows and trying some new things and didn't sound as confident as we're used to, and probably because she was trying some new things
Mhm.
and that she wasn't using her usual Cardi flow.
Mhm.
Well, we immediately hear the cadence, the cockiness, and the usual flow of Cardi.
Mhm.
And I said, now this is what I was talking about when I said Cardi has a specific flow, a specific sound, and you could tell that she wasn't as confident the last time. This time, she was ready.
He
You know what I'm
was
saying? For the ops, for the hoes, for everybody,
for
and
everybody
for the fish.
and for the fish. Definitely for the fish. You know, she paid homage to Dr. Seuss, and that should not be
And
forgotten.
that's true.
And he's an
And
icon and a legend.
that's true. She also she also paid homage to Nuck If You Buck. And that made me smile.
I like that. I like that. I mean, who doesn't love Nuck If You Buck?
Come on, it's hard not to.
Oh yeah, we knocking and bucking and ready to fight. I mean,
And that's the energy she was on.
I like that. Good for Cardi.
Same.
I think she looks good too. I mean, I know it's about the music. What is
There's
that?
a video for this already?
Yeah, I watched the video. I didn't listen to.
You beat me to it. I didn't even think about a video. I was just getting my streams on.
So what I realized with Cardi, at least, not with everybody, but what I realized with Cardi is if you just go to her Instagram page, it gives you every option of how to consume whatever she's released. So it
That's
gives you
smart.
the yeah, so it gives you a whole list. You could go to Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and a bunch Apple, not Apple, Amazon. You could go to a bunch of different ones. But it said watch under YouTube, so I said, okay, let me watch it. And yeah, there's a video. She looks good.
Nice.
Well, I said that about the last video, the freestyle video. I think she looks great. She has this um, something I know you'll particularly like. She has this burgundy, almost is it burgundy? It's not like a bright red at all. It's more like a purplish, reddish, short hairstyle that she has going on. I don't think about Cardi B with short hair, but she looks good. I said, "Oh, that's cute. I like that." And then, she was giving the looks and she was giving the body and all of that, and I said, "Okay, okay, that's I mean, that's the Cardi we know and love." But I also kind of feel like something about Cardi now versus Cardi around her first album just seems more polished to me.
Okay.
Not polished as in like buttoned up, but just like something about it just looks like, money is being well spent.
And it should be.
Of course, of course. So I like that. The hair, I feel like the hair looks good. The clothes look good. Again, it looks like they, put a lot of money into making sure that what she's putting out looks good. So yeah, that's just a little tidbit about the video. It was similar to the last video. It wasn't like a whole lot of stuff going on in it. It was more of her rapping and her giving different looks. But I kind of
Bikini
like that. Hmm?
Bikini Cardi.
Yeah, it was more of bikini Cardi. But I kind of like, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm kind of getting the vibe that they want the music to speak for itself. Like, of course, she's wearing revealing clothing and whatever. But you notice they're not really well, you didn't see it, but they're not trying to distract us with a whole lot in these videos. It's been pretty simple and clean as far there's not a whole lot of people, there's not a whole lot in the background going on. So, I feel like that's strategy in itself. Like,
Yes.
Just we giving you music, and that's what we're here for. Music and looks, of course, but you know, she's Cardi.
Yeah.
I think people expect her to give looks.
Yeah.
So
And what you're talking about, that polish, that money, it makes sense. Cardi did big numbers her first album. It's been years since that first album, and now she is someone who is a top act over at her label, I believe Atlantic. And so if she's one of the top acts, then she should be getting those kind of looks. She should be getting that kind of push. And so I expect this single to get a big push because clearly this is the single for the album.
yeah,
So
I mean, are you excited about the Cardi B album?
no, listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm
I'm
not
not
a Cardi.
asking you
I'm
to.
not a what?
I said I'm not asking you to.
Oh,
I wanted your honest opinion.
No, Cardi's not who I listen to. I listen. I mean, we know that already, but I'm not saying Cardi sucks or anything. Clearly, I just gave a good review, and I was excited to hear Cardi in her lane, in her bag, as they say. But Cardi's not the kind of artist I listen to on a regular basis. So I'm not a person who's a Cardi hater, but I'm not the person running to go get the album and gonna sit here and try to find all the hidden things. And oh man, on this song she took a jab at Dash, and on the other song she was
Oh,
responding to a podcaster. And
always have to
I
be told about the beefs in the song.
yeah, I'm not. My point is, I'm not running to a Cardi album. But to be fair, I'm not running to most people's albums today. So it's not Cardi slander or Cardi hate. It's just
Yeah.
it's not the kind of music that I necessarily run to. Um, Now, will I listen to it? Sure. Well, if we decide we're gonna review it, I'm gonna listen to it multiple times to make sure I can come up here and give a solid review. But the kind of music Cardi makes is more turn up, in my opinion, more trap music style beats, and that's not necessarily my go-to. I enjoy that stuff on occasion, if I'm out and Bodak Yellow comes on, I'm with that. Um, but I'm not necessarily the person who knows what Cardi's full album sounds like. I can't tell you, you know, what the videos looked like. I remember certain things, the big singles, and she's
Mhm.
killed a lot of features, and so I remember a lot of those. But
Mhm.
I don't. I'm not the number one Cardi fan. Now,
That's okay.
on the flip side of that coin, I'm excited for her and the fact that she's finally able to put out another album. I know she has a lot of other things going on, and so she's been active.
Mm.
Uh, Even if not as necessarily a rapper, we haven't got a lot of Cardi features as of late. Um, and she's done some. I'm not saying zero, but we haven't got like 8 million Cardi features as of late.
Right.
But she's been doing other things. She had deals with motorcyclists. No, I'm just kidding. She had deals with big brands and was doing things, and then she had a child, and then there was a lot of things going on with her marriage, and so she was on a musical hiatus. I'm excited that she's back. I'm excited that she's able to take the time to focus on getting an album out, and clearly she's working, and so that is exciting to me.
Yeah. And I think you touched on something that I didn't remember until now, but I totally remember when after she put out the first album and then people found out she was pregnant, there was this
Yep.
whole public discourse about how her career might be ruined because she chose to have a baby during that time. And I
Right.
think one of the things that she is showing us is that don't count me out. Um,
Right.
and I mean, she's worked since then. Obviously, like you said, it's not like she hasn't. But I think that people also have been looking for this album. Like, where is it? And it's been a situation
Absolutely.
where it's been like, are we ever gonna get it? So I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty cool that she's she's doing her comeback now, and she's she's gearing up to do all of the things, and that's great. Good for Cardi. I mean,
Yes,
mamas can do it too.
absolutely.
So I'm excited for her as well. I think this will be a really interesting summer because I feel
Yes.
like Cardi's gonna drop. Cardi's gonna have all these, fun singles, and it's gonna make the summer very interesting. I'm sure she's gonna be on a lot of people's summer playlists.
Yeah, I would assume so. Because Cardi is probably dropping in the summer or right before.
Yeah, yeah. So, and Cardi B is definitely like roll your windows down and crank up the music.
Yeah.
She's definitely one of those people that you want to hear. You want to hear the bass. You want to hear the, when the beat drops.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Yep. Speaking of people who rap,
Nasty Nas.
Nasty Nas the Esco to Escobar. Now he is Nostradamus. Remember when he did that?
Yes, I did. Yep.
He let us know all his names.
All the time.
I was pretty obsessed with Nas during that time.
Ah.
I had the
Well,
poster on my wall and everything.
holler.
So Nas is doing some TV.
Nas is getting involved in some TV. Yes, he is.
So he's teaming up with the executive producer of Power. Actually, I believe his name is. I'm cheating. Mark Canton.
Hey, nothing wrong with having notes. A lot of podcasters come out and just pull things out their ass and just say
Yeah.
anything. So better to have notes than just be like, "Oh yeah, he's teaming up with who was it, Dennis Rodman? Yeah, Dennis Rodman. He's teaming up with Dennis Rodman." Like what? No,
Yeah.
he's not. What are you talking about? Much
Mhm.
better to have notes and facts.
You're right. So they're going to be working together on an 8-episode series to highlight the road to the U.S. Chess Hall of Fame for, I'm trying to get it right,
The
the first
first,
Black chess grandmaster. His name
yes,
is Maurice Ashley. So
two first names,
2 first names, and one
Ricky
is
Bobby.
neutral. Ricky Bobby. Ricky Bobby is a good one. A good one. Yep.
That's what made me think about. They say that in the movie.
Oh, see, you think about that, and I think about a movie that Monica was in that at this time I cannot remember. It was you. I don't know if you remember when MTV used to make movies for they used to make made for TV movies on MTV,
I don't
and
think so.
there was this movie featuring Monica. She was the star of the movie, and it was about like her dating this guy or whatever. I can't remember the full story. I just remember he was a white man, and they and they one of the conversations that she had with her friends was about how her mom or her grandma always used to tell her never trust a man with 2 first names.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so I always remember that. I'm always
Well,
like,
then she can't trust Ricky Bobby.
no.
No.
Mm-mm.
But I wouldn't trust him either because he was running around saying if you ain't first, you're last. So
Right. Well, there's that.
right. But anyway, this is not about them. This is about Maurice Ashley
Hmm.
and what Nas is doing to highlight him. That's really cool. I'm anxious to hear more about it, see how this goes.
Yeah.
I like that Nas is doing this, and this is right up Nas' alley to be highlighting a black icon, a black
Hmm.
historian. This the same guy who decided on his own to do a audio version of a biography of Rakim. So,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, this ain't far from it. You know, Nas likes to do this kind of stuff and kick knowledge, you know,
Yeah.
as he once was accused of, you know. What you trying to kick knowledge? Yes. Yes. Yes, Nas likes to kick knowledge.
All right.
Come on, gotta pull a quote out sometimes, you know.
Sometimes you got I
Just
need to
gotta,
put
yeah, excuse me, what's this? Ah, quote. We need another one? I got another. No, we don't
another
need
one. Yep.
another one.
So this is exciting. I
Yeah, I
for
also like that it's, oh, sorry, go ahead, you first.
Oh no, I was gonna say. I mean, I think there's no secret. I love biographical content, so I was gonna watch it even if it wasn't Nas. But plus, if it's biographical content about Black people, but I think this is interesting. I don't know a whole lot about chess. Um, I mean, I know enough, but I probably can't sit across from someone and like really, really play. But I think this is really cool. I feel like a lot of times when chess is highlighted, chess masters are highlighted. They're usually not Black men. So I think this is a really cool story and would love to know how he got there because it does seem
Right.
like something that's uncommon. It's probably more
Yes.
common than I know, but does seem like something that we don't really talk about a whole lot. So
Right.
I
That's
think it's
true.
pretty cool and good for Nas because I mean, diversify your portfolio. Why not?
He's been doing a lot of that the last
Mhm.
10 years.
Yeah.
I
One
was
thing
gonna
about
say, oh, go
no, you
ahead.
go ahead. You go ahead. I was gonna say something silly. Go
Oh,
ahead.
no, I was gonna say one thing that I like also another thing I like is that this is a short series. You know, Nas is giving us Nas and the gentleman from Power, they teamed up to do a short series. Not, 21 episodes or something. So,
Yeah.
you know, I am not a fan of long TV shows, but a limited series, I could get into a limited series, you know what I'm saying? Because 8 episodes, I could do that,
Me too, but then sometimes I want more.
because you really like TV.
I guess so. Sometimes I want a little bit more. I don't think it's necessarily about liking TV so much as if I like the story or I feel like the story was unfinished, or they stop at a certain point in the story, right? Because sometimes they won't give you everything that happened, especially if it is biographical. Sometimes they'll stop at a certain point, and then you're like, "Well, wait, there's about 20 years you didn't tell me about, or there's about 5 years here that you could have told me." I don't want words at the end of the episode that say that say,
That was funny.
"Are you good?"
Yeah, that was funny. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't want words at the end of the episode that are like, here's what happened the next 10 years after that. No, then give me like two more episodes.
Right.
That's my frustration. Why the hell are you telling me, in a three sentence paragraph what happened?
Because the budget ran out.
Clearly. Because I mean, like, why was I here if this is where it was gonna end? I don't and it's
The
almost
mission was
like
accomplished. You know what I'm saying?
you ever get in an Uber and they drop you off like a block away from where you're supposed to go?
Yes.
That's what
Yes. I,
that feels like.
I think we've
We
all
didn't
been
get
there.
there yet.
But just like that Uber ride, you got to get out.
I know, but we didn't get there yet. Is exactly what I would have said. Because why didn't we get there? That's the question. I don't.
Got it. I understand. Felt like that watching Bob Marley, but I said that already. So
You did. You did. You have strong feelings about Bob Marley, and I understand.
I liked it, but
Mhm.
don't call it a biopic and give me 2 years.
I actually want to ask you questions about that because I wasn't here when you.
You should have been here. We could
No,
have did
I'm.
it.
I'm gonna ask you now. We could skip the other topic. We could. Let me just
What?
ask you this. Come on. So, okay, you keep saying that they only showed certain years of his life, and I agree. I think that the most of what we saw happened over what, like a 2 year time frame.
Yes, 2 years exactly.
But it did go back. You didn't like the fact that it went back? There
I
were
said here.
flashbacks to his younger days.
I said that. I said, yeah, that was cool, but there wasn't enough of that to call it a biopic.
I just wish. See, here's what I think they should have done, and this is why I want to talk about it, because I had this thought when I saw the movie, but I didn't have nobody had seen it yet, and I couldn't talk about it. And then you hadn't seen it yet, so I couldn't talk about it here. But one of the things that I thought about was, okay, maybe this information should have come to us in a sequence. Maybe I did say this, but maybe the information should have come to us in a sequence rather than scattered around the place. Because
I don't mind scattered around the place. It just wasn't enough.
no, I'm not saying, but hear me out. I'm not saying everything should be like that. I'm saying this particular film and the way they did it would have, to me you don't feel the way you feel if they did it sequential. I don't think you would have noticed.
There's not enough. There's not enough of that content.
Well, they could have. I mean, obviously, at that point, they would have to fill in
But
some
you
blanks.
see, but now you're changing the whole movie.
Well, because I didn't necessarily care for the way they did that. The flashbacks that they did, I didn't really love that too much. I liked the film overall, and I did like the fact that they harkened back to his life as a child, and um and I did think it was cool that they gave us so much information about what he was going through over that couple of years. I don't even think it was a full 3 years. It was 2 years, right? Yeah, I'm happy to have gotten that information, but I do think that if they had structured the film a little bit differently, I don't think that would be an issue. I wasn't sure if you had gone to sleep or if it had, because it froze and it
Oh,
froze with your eyes closed, and I was
oh.
like, wait, what
I was like, I
happened?
ain't sleeping. I'm up.
But yeah, so that's what I'll say about that. I think maybe that would have changed your vantage point a little bit. Just a thought. Just I know you might not agree, but that's just the thought that I had in my head when I saw it.
I just think there just wasn't enough. If you're gonna call it a biopic, it got to be more. Like,
Yeah.
okay, here's what I'm saying. In a
Hmm.
doc, right? Like, let's say it was a documentary. In a documentary, they'll tell you in the beginning of the documentary, uh, JD went on a weight loss journey of 3 years, and we followed him around for the 3 years. And you're like, oh, okay, I'm only expecting the 3 years going into this. They did not do that.
Oh, Zach.
Oh, that's not gonna be 3 years. That's gonna be about 3 months. You know what I'm saying? If I hit the Ozempies, you know what I mean? If I hit the Oprah in about 3 months, I'll be looking like
Oprah is cursing the day she told y'all she took that drug. that's that's how you gonna look.
I'll be looking like,
Fitting into all the small spaces.
you know what I'm saying? Niggas be like, nobody fits there. Yes, I do. No, maybe you don't fit, but I fit.
Get you some Ozempic.
You know what I'm saying? If you had Ozempic like me, you could be wearing children's clothes too.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, listen, I'm short. I lose enough weight, I'd be right in like a boy's large. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. I'm short. That's the truth. I actually have a picture from when I lost all the weight like 10 years ago, and I
Mhm.
had like a boy's extra large on because a boy's extra large is a men's medium. I found that out by accident. I had a coworker who was like, Jay, you mad skinny now, and my son don't want all these fly shirts that I bought. I don't want to return them. I said, I'm gonna give him the J. I said, you think I fit your son's clothes? That's
Apparently.
offensive.
Mm-hmm.
I also didn't realize her son was a teenager, and so
Yeah.
or like he was like 12 or 13 or something like that. He's an adolescent,
Yeah.
and she's like, Jay, shut up and try on one of these shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and tried it on, and it was like, oh, okay, what size is this? And I went, we looked, and the boy's extra large. I was like, what the hell? It fit the same as my men's medium. Then I did a little light research. It's like, yeah, a boy's extra large is pretty much a men's medium.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, if I
Works for
hit the
you.
Ozempis, I'll be shopping at Cookies, all of those stores. You know what I mean? Downtown Brooklyn, what
Oh
up?
my gosh.
Downtown
I heard
Brooklyn, what
someone
up?
say
Be
the
right
most
in
in
Cookies.
a long time.
They be like, man, your daughter fits clothes at Cookies. My daughter, no, she's down the block. She's buying some stuff from the women's store down the block. I'm here for me. I came to see what's the latest fits. You know what I'm saying? I got to see. Let me see what y'all got. Y'all got the Ozempic section?
Oh my gosh. All right.
No.
All right. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been Weeknights.
Adios. See
The
y'all
Ozempic
Monday.
section.
Yeah. Listen, in a minute, that's what they're gonna need. You know what I'm saying? In a minute, they're gonna need the Ozempic section because they keep out here just injecting and taking pills to lose the weight. And they're gonna act. People gonna be out here looking like.
We gotta go.
Well, no. What I was trying to say though is like in a doc, real quick. In a doc, they tell you that beforehand, right? Where they say like much of this time, this is what was going on, and so we followed them around for this amount of time.
Yeah.
Um, or it's just very clear that all right, this was just for the making of the title of the project, right? Like it'll say like the Weeknight doc. It's like, all the stuff that happened behind the scenes during the time of the show Weeknights that JD and Dash did.
Mm.
But this was the Bob Marley biopic. And so I'm gonna need a little more than 2 years and some Salt Bay flashbacks, just it was like, he had another record deal. Let me show you.
Now I want some steak.
He had a white man who scared the hell out of him. And just sprinkle a little memories. I need more than that. If it's a biopic, you got to really tell the whole story there.
Right.
And I enjoyed what we got, but
Mhm.
then I don't think it should have been called a biopic. I think it should have been called Bob Marley Exodus.
Exodus.
See, but that would have made more sense, right? We wouldn't have been in there looking for anything except the making of Exodus. And maybe that would have made us want more, like I want more now, and we just say, yo, can we get the full Bob Marley biopic? Because y'all gave us Exodus. That was super hot fire. Dylon, 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 and Dylon.
You gotta remember the fifth Dylon.
Gotta remember the fifth Dylon. And so we got this dope Exodus movie. Can we get the full jam now? Here's an example. Oh, get it. Okay, yep, get
This
it.
was the
Oh,
dancing you were talking about.
no, that's not the dancing. You have that. What you just did has rhythm. What the way Bob Marley dances? No disrespect to Bob Marley and his people. I know you got a big family. I don't want no beef, but that was not rhythmic dancing. That was like, I'm in pain. Like my back hurts. Like when you throw out your back, and they be like, oh, it's like, what's going on with my back?
I think he just had the spirit in him.
When you catch a bad stomach ache, you go to get up. It's looking like that.
All right. Let's
You started it. I wasn't even going to bring up the dancing.
you
Anyway,
uh-huh.
I
Mm-hmm.
was going to say an example of this is there's an Amy Winehouse movie coming out called Back in Black.
Yeah, I'm
I'm not
really excited about
expecting this to be her whole life because of the title. I'm expecting this to be about the classic album.
yeah.
And so that makes sense. Now, if they decide to give us some of the making of Frank, some of her childhood, cool. But based on the title, and I mean, I haven't seen any press. Now, I'm gonna be honest. If they start putting out press and say the Amy Winehouse biopic, and I need to see some toddler Amy, some adolescent Amy. You know what I mean? Like, you got to give me the whole Amy then.
Yeah.
But this is called Back in Black, and so just off the title, I'm like, oh, this is all about that album and probably its impact on music and her career, the Grammys she won, you
Yeah.
know, all of that. Like, I could see one of the big scenes being her beating out Beyonce, Rihanna, and everybody else and winning Song of the Year with Rehab. Like, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But if they call it but then you can't call it the Amy Winehouse biopic. And that's what I'm saying. So I think it would have been smarter if they did something like that and just called this Exodus.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah. I think I get what you're saying. I get why that frustrates you.
I'm not mad. I just feel like call it what it is. Like, I think calling it One Love, the Bob Marley biopic, is just misleading. That's what I think. I think then that's not a biopic.
Okay. I understand. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not disputing what you're saying. But yeah, you make
All
a
right.
good point,
Thank
and
you.
I respect your point.
Thank you. What did you think about the dancing from Bob Marley?
I was familiar with it.
Oh, so you knew going in.
Yeah.
I wish I knew going in because, like I said, I was like, yeah, see this?
I told you I grew up playing Bob Marley in the house.
Yeah, I had no idea. I mean, I'm glad, like I said on the live, I'm glad I was alone. Because even if it was me and you, I'd have turned right to you and been like, why are they doing that?
Yeah, I'm not Jamaican, but
Why
I'm
they
guys.
why they letting him dance like that? They got to give Bob Marley more credit than that.
Mhm. Well, did you come away with any music? Because you had said maybe you would walk away and find some new music that you wanted to dive into. Did you feel that way at the end of it?
I remember saying that, but
You did.
um, well, what it did was it definitely made me want to work on music. It reminded me when I was working on a specific project, which is what I said on the live. Yeah, obviously I wanted to go listen to Exodus, which by the way is not on Spotify. But yeah. Um
Oh well, all the Jamaican aunties would probably tell you to just go to YouTube
yeah,
and
sure.
you'll
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
find the
But
whole album as a video.
right, yeah. I figured that out at some point. But I immediately went to Spotify and was like, yeah, I'm about to I
Exodus.
must have wrote it wrong. Let me spell check it.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was good. As far as new music, I just thought maybe I should listen to Exodus. Didn't feel like
Okay.
uh, there was, I didn't feel like I needed to dive all the way into the Bob catalog.
I mean, that's fine.
Um,
I was just curious.
yeah, but I thought that was what really shocked me when I went to Spotify and it wasn't there. I was like, oh,
Hmm.
I wonder why that is.
Yeah. Well,
But anyway, that's it for me. Uh,
and that's it for D.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. We'll see y'all on Monday. Have a great weekend. Put your thoughts in the comments. If you dance like your back hurts, let us know. Uh, and we'll be back on Monday.
Yep.